2008 Mercedes ML350 driver's door lock actuator. I'm Brian Essel from How to Automotive. I'm going to walk you through the steps of replacing. Okay, to get started removing this door panel, the first thing we're going to do is going to remove this little trim panel here. And you just stick a pocket screwdriver in here and you pop it out, and then you kind of work your way down the trim panel like that until it pops completely off. Once the panel's off, there's a couple screws here and here that you're going to remove. They're T27 Torx. Next, I'm going to pop off the tweeter cover here for your stereo. So you just stick a flat blade screwdriver here and pop the cover back out like this. And then you unplug the electrical connector and set the. So after removing the tweeter, the next step is we need to get the power window, the power door lock switches out. And the way you do that is you push both switches in simultaneously, and then this little plastic tab here, you'll grab with your fingers and pull it out. And you pull it out like that. Once you get it out like that, then the switch will come out, and then behind there will be a torque screw. So in the manual it says do not disconnect the switch, just leave it connected like this. Take the screw out. Then what you're going to do is you're going to take a door panel tool like this, stick it under the bottom of the door, pry the door open, and pop the clips out, and now the door panel will swing out like this. Now you can put one hand on the left side, one hand on the right side, and wiggle the door left and right and pop it off the top track right here. So now we need to get the door latch cable off. And the way we're going to do that is you're going to take the cable, pull towards the back of the car like that, and then unhook it like that. Now right here at the switch, we're going to unplug these two ribbon connectors. You'll squeeze the tab and then pull off. Now that the door panel is removed, on the edge of the door we need to remove this reflector light and this plug here. And I'm just going to use a flat blade screwdriver for both. Okay, once you get the reflector off and the plug off here, you're going to use a T20 deep socket like this, and you'll slide it through, and you're going to loosen the Torx bolt here, and then what we're going to do is we're going to pull the door lock cylinder out. Once the screw is out, then you can just pull the door lock. Next, you're going to take the outer door handle, pull it towards you, and you rotate the handle out. Once the outer door handle's off, right here on the rubber grommet, you're going to slide it off like that, and then remove the set screw here. Now we're going to pop the rubber cover off here and here. Now that I got the two plugs off here and here, what I did was I hooked my door panel back in. I plugged the electrical connectors back in, and I rolled the window down until I got a gap about this big. And the reason why is right here is the torque bolts that we need to get to. So I'm going to back those. I'm going to loosen them up, and they have like little squeeze clamps that squeeze the glass. So I'm just going to loosen them back a few threads, and then I'll be able to slide the window up to it, and then I'm going to use packing tape and tape the window in the full upright position. So you don't want to take it all the way out, you just want to back it off a few threads like this, just to loosen them up. And once you get the door into the window regulator back into this position, you can go ahead and unplug the two ribbon connectors and take the door panel back off. So once I got them backed off here, I just slid the glass up and used packing tape and held it in place. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to disconnect the wiring harness from the module here by squeezing the tabs. Disconnect the speaker by squeezing the tabs and pulling off. Now you're going to unplug the crash sensor. You're going to unplug the window motor, and then you're going to pop the little grommet back here. Then with the door panel tool, you're going to pop the clips here, here, and here off. You're also going to remove the torque bolt here and here on the edge of the door. And just behind the molding, there's also another torque bolt here. Now you're going to start up here at the top, and you remove the torque bolt here, work your way down, remove the torque bolt, remove the torque bolt, remove that bolt, this bolt here, the one under the speaker, and just keep your weight working your way around the perimeter of the window regulator here. Once you get the last bolt out of the door frame, you're going to grab it from the bottom and pull out towards you, and then slowly work the window regulator out, and you're going to make sure all this is all unbolted over here. Alright, now that the window regulator and door latch is out of the car, what we're going to do is come around the back side here and unplug the connector and then pull the wiring through. And then we'll take the window regulator and door lock actuator to a safe spot where we can work on it, where we'll transfer over the new part. So now we're going to take our old door lock actuator off and then reinstall our new one. And the way you're going to do that is on the opposite side here. You're going to take these 3 clips here and you push them inwards, and then the actuator will pop off the other side. And you're also going to take the grommet here and feed it through. After that, you'll take your new actuator and install it up over the top and put the cable through and grommet through the hole. And you're also going to transfer over the knob here, and that just twists on and screws on, and you can screw on to the new one right here. Now that you got the new actuator mounted onto the window regulator, you take the tabs from the back side and you push those until they lock into place. All 3 of the tabs like that. Okay, before we put the window regulator and door lock actuator in, we're going to run our cable and grommet through and plug it in right here. And then once we do that, then we'll lift it up and slide it into position. So now we're going to reinstall this regulator and lock actuator at the same time. And we're going to get this portion of it to stab in first. And then we're going to rotate the door up, and then we'll start a bolt here on the top. Also, as you're sliding this back in, when you slide it in, this attachment here needs to hook. So as you put the door panel in, or the window regulator in, it's going to hook around the corner and then slide in. It's going to be a little low, and then you have to pull it up a little bit and then slide it in like this. Now that the window regulator is back in there, and I just got 1 bolt holding it in, and what I'm going to do is just kind of flare it back a little bit like this with my hand, and reach my hand back here and help guide everything, the door lock actuator into place and line up all the holes. And then also I'll work through the holes here to help line everything up. All right, now that you got this all lined up and the handle portion of it here all lined up, now you can go ahead and tighten up all the bolts here. Go ahead and install all the bolts around and tighten those all up. Okay, now that it's back on there, on the opposite side of the door here, you got to work the this is kind of floating in here, so you got to put it in position like that, and you'll do the same thing here. You'll get it into position, and then you can put that screw back in here. So I lined up the slot right here on the corner here, and then I held the inside handle in place and then started the bolt and tightened. I'm going to start by putting these little rubber grommets in. They have these little hooks here, and so you make sure it's on there secure, and then you'll do the same thing for the front one here. So it slides into place, and it has these little catches, and you hook them into place. Next, you'll take the outer door handle, slide it into position like that, push it towards the front of the car like that, and it'll lock into place. Next, you'll take the lock cylinder, and it has a little electrical connector here, so you got to make sure you line all that up. And when you get it lined up, you just push it into place like that. Then you'll come around to the side and reinstall the set screw through the tighten up the set screw here. And then after you get that tight, you're going to go ahead and put the reflector back on and the cap back on. After that, you can go ahead and plug in all your electrical. Now we're going to take our packing tape off the glass and then slide the glass down until it lines up into these little slots here and here, and then we'll tighten the Allen screws. And you're going to just snug them up. Okay, once the glass is back in there and snug, now you can go ahead and just snug up the glass. And you got to remember, this is pinching glass, so you just want to make them snug. And once you got them snug, then what I like to do is grab the top of the window glass and try to pull it, make sure it doesn't slide back off. Now you can go ahead and reinstall the 2 plugs. Okay, now we're going to take the door panel and we're going to plug in the electrical connectors here. After the electrical connectors are connected, now we're going to hook up our inner door handle cable here. Then you're going to pull the cable until it gets over that slot and then slide it back into position. Now you're going to stab the door lock lever here through the hole of the door panel by lifting it up and stabbing it. Stab through. Now you're going to lift the door panel up a little higher and hook it over the edge and then push it down. Once the door panel is hooked over the top, you push down on top of it like this, and then you line up the clips that are on the side and you just snap the door panel back on all the way around the door panel. Then you can go ahead and install the screw here and the screw here. Now you can go ahead and install the window switch, and kind of feed this little band kind of in there, and then you just push it in, and then once you get it in there, you just push this little locking tab in Now we're going to take our tweeter, plug it back in, and once it's plugged back in, this will just rotate around and then snap into place. Now you can take this trim panel piece here and line it up and push it on. Once this panel is back on, that completes the job of replacing the door lock actuator and also the window regulator on a 2008 Mercedes ML350. I'm Brian Essett from How to Automotive. I'd like to thank you guys for watching my videos. Encourage you to subscribe, and also to remind you that I will be linking up the parts in the description. That way, if you need to get those, they'll be there for you. Thank you again for watching.